In 1996, the Philippines witnessed one of the worst nightclub fires in history. 162 lives lost, most of them students. But some survivors claim that what happened that night wasn't just a tragic accident, that something else was inside Ozone Disco, and that whatever it was never left. It was a Monday, but the atmosphere in Quezon City was electric. Over 350 people packed into Ozone Disco, a narrow neon-lit club on Timog Avenue. Most of them were young, bright, just beginning their lives. That night was supposed to be about freedom, celebration, the joy of youth. Instead, it became a tomb. The fire began around 11:35 p.m. The lights flickered. A burning smell spread from the DJ booth area. Within seconds, smoke poured into the main floor. Panic erupted. The crowd surged toward the only main entrance, a single inward opening door. Hundreds were trapped. Some died from burns, others from smoke inhalation. Most suffocated in a pile of bodies near the door. Temperature inside the club reportedly reached over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Investigators described the scene as beyond horrific. Burned limbs fused together. The sound system completely melted. One survivor said, "We danced, then we screamed. Then it went silent." Government officials called it a tragedy born of negligence. The building had no fire alarm system, no sprinklers, no fire exits. The club's license had expired. The management ignored safety warnings for months. Criminal charges were filed, 7 people were tried, but only a few were ever imprisoned. The country mourned. Families held wakes with closed caskets. Some never even recovered the bodies. But while the public moved on, whispers began to surface. From survivors, from former employees, from those who felt something that night they still couldn't explain. In 2003, an independent researcher interviewed a man who claimed to work maintenance at Ozone before the fire. He requested anonymity and went by Meng Eddie. His testimony was never aired, but the transcript leaked in 2007. He said, "That building was wrong, not broken. Wrong. The walls were cold even in summer. Sometimes I'd hear music playing before we opened, like whispers and beat." Went on to describe finding footprints in ash before any fire ever started. A door in the kitchen that would lock from the inside.
Out.
There were nights when the freezer would slam shut on its own. He thought it was rats, but no rats leave drag marks in the ice. He quit just 2 weeks before the fire. 5 different survivors in 5 separate interviews gave a chillingly similar description. They all saw a girl standing in the center of the dance floor, wearing a silver dress. Not running, not screaming, just watching. She looked like she didn't belong. Like she wasn't there, even though she was. The flames burst through the ceiling. They saw her again, unmoving, calm, and then gone. Her description never matched any confirmed victim or survivor. There was no family looking for her, no ID, no missing persons. Some say she was an angel, others something else. In 2005, a major television network began producing a full documentary on the Ozone tragedy. They hired journalists, paranormal experts, and historians. The project was never finished. A production assistant leaked that the raw interview tapes began showing anomalies. Faces in frames where no one stood, shadow figures, audio glitches. In one recording during an interview with a survivor, something whispered Ozone in the background. The editors claim the footage glitched only between 11:30 p.m. and 11:40 p.m., the exact window when the fire began. Eventually, the director quit. She allegedly told friends, "There are things we're not meant to broadcast." The Ozone building was eventually demolished. In its place now stands a Gudo, a fast food local restaurant, clean, bright, corporate, but not normal. We spoke to a current night shift worker who agreed to talk anonymously. Around March, it gets weird, especially near closing. Lights flicker. I hear music, old 90s songs, but not from the speakers. Others reported freezers that ice over in seconds, doors that refuse to stay shut. In 2019, a TikTok video went viral, showing a silhouette moving behind the second floor wall, part of the store that was closed for renovation. The video disappeared days later. The user claimed it was flagged for violence. There was no visible violence, only a figure in a silver dress, In early online forums, particularly in pre-Reddit mystery boards, a user named OZ313 became infamous. Between 2002 and 2007, they posted a series of cryptic messages related to the ozone fire. The fire didn't start it. It ended something that escaped. She is still looking for her last dance. There was an 8th door under the stage. It was never opened. None of these details were found in official blueprints. But survivors reported hearing banging noises beneath the dance floor during the fire. OZ313 posted one final message in 2007. If you read this at 11:30 p.m., she sees you too. The account was deleted, no trace remains. Paranormal researchers who visited the ozone ruins before demolition described seeing a strange symbol burned into the DJ booth floor, circle, with 7 lines extending outward like a sun. Multiple sources photographed it, but every image, once uploaded, showed only static. An artist attempted to sketch it from memory. She later went blind in one eye, claiming she dreamed of mirrors that burn. Another spiritualist suggested the symbol was pre-colonial, possibly Babylon in origin, representing binding of restless spirits. But no consensus was ever reached. And the sketch was stolen during a burglary in 2014. Only fragments remain. We interviewed another survivor, now 42, who had never spoken publicly. I don't talk about it because people think I'm crazy. But every March 18th, I wake up at exactly 11:35. No alarm, just awake. He described seeing a reflection in the window near his bed. Always the same. A girl in silver, standing still, not staring at me, but through me. His wife saw her too. Just once. She left him the following week. She said something followed me out. I think she's right. He showed us a burn on his shoulder. A crescent, faint but perfectly shaped. It appeared 5 years ago. He doesn't remember how. The Ozone Disco tragedy is remembered as a failure of safety, greed, and regulation. But for some, it's also remembered as something more. Not just the fire, but what was hidden inside it. Silence, a stare, a presence. One mother who lost her daughter to the blaze wrote in her diary, "I feel her at the edge of my bed sometimes. I hear music in the quiet. But it's not comforting. It feels unfinished. Ozone is gone. The lawsuits are closed. The building is buried under coffee cups and meals, but late at night. In between static. If you listen closely, you might still hear the beat, still hear the whispers, still feel the heat." This video is based on real historical events, fictionalized for emotional and investigative storytelling. Please honor the victims of the Ozone Disco tragedy. If you found this story powerful, like, subscribe, and share. And if you're ever in Timog Avenue and the air goes cold, don't follow the music. Don't turn around. Because some dances never end.